As a teenager, 13, 14 years old, me and my cousins, uh, cover band, just playing music, and then we started really liking what we're doing. We kind of dove more into the live sound side of things first, learned a lot of audio techniques and things there, and then when it got to the point where we started playing original music, of course we were looking for places to record, and everywhere here, or at least locally, was really expensive for a 15-year-old. And at that point, computers were really starting to come up in age, and a lot easier to record your own stuff. So for about $100, you can just go buy a little interface with local music store and start recording yourself.
I started playing music when I was young. I have a brother and sister that are quite a bit older than me, and they had a band when I was a little kid. The thing is, I guess when I started playing, or when I started trying to play, maybe I should say that, I couldn't really find anybody to play with, so I was like, so recording just became the natural option. I can play to myself.
At some point, as we're recording our own stuff and wanting to get our own stuff out there, myself, started noticing, hey, I actually kind of really like doing this. It's really fun. Went to school for it, learned all that.
I heard about the program at South Plains College, the sound technology program there, probably when I was in middle school, and it just made sense. I feel kind of lucky that, talking to friends, like, I don't know what I want to do after high school, but it was just like, I've been doing that just by myself for a while. I'd like to know more about it.
I actually do feel like the bigger studios are kind of disappearing from the picture, and everyone's kind of going to a new home studio. It's so much more accessible to get a really good quality recording nowadays for a lot less money than what it was back then.
As far as what we were doing in our studio that we had in my living room, it was limited. We had 16 channels and whatever mics we had, which you can do a lot with, but it's still limited. So you have to be very purposeful and very specific about what you want to use, because you only have so much.
I feel like it's more accessible for musicians nowadays to actually get a decent recording because of how many more home studios there are nowadays, or just really out there compared to the big studios.
As far as my music goes, I would rather not record myself most of the time if I had the option, but I'm the cheapest guy to do it most of the time. You probably do have a pretty good idea of what you want to sound like, but all of your insecurities kind of get meshed in with your perception. I think it's always good to have someone there who maybe be just a little familiar, somebody with experience to do it, and sometimes it's honestly difficult to wear all of the hats, the producer hat and the recording engineer and the artist. I feel like your attention gets divided at some point, so I like to just wear one at a time so I can focus on it, but not to say that I don't still do it.